Hey everyone. Thank you for joining me. So today we're going to go a little bit different than what we were talking about, where we were talking about media that we don't talk about. It's kind of connected, but I wanted to branch out because this is something that I have noticed over the years that it's funny when you look at it. Um, but this is a saying that we have been saying wrong forever, and it even has infiltrated pop culture. And one of the most well known and one of the most popular franchises in really any media, and one of the more popular, I should say, musicians even wrote a song about it for that franchise. So stay tuned because this is interesting, in my opinion. So, we all know different sayings, right? So, like, can't lead a horse to water and make it drink, or however you're supposed to say that. We know the famous, for all intensive purposes, it's for all intents and purposes, by the way. But, the one I want to talk about today, how many of you have been in a conversation, and maybe even you use this yourself, but you heard somebody, even in movies where something is coming to light and they say the writing's on the wall? That's actually not how you say it. And I want to talk about why, where it comes from, and what it's supposed to mean. Because sometimes people use it in the wrong context, also. So, for this, I'm going to preface by saying some people might not like this because when I start to say where it comes from, you might click out. And if you do, I'm sorry. But this is where it comes from. And this is actually how you're going to say it. I'm going to help you out. So this comes from actually a biblical perspective. This comes from the actual Bible in Daniel chapter 5. So in this part of the story, most people know about Daniel. He was taken in and brought to a place called Babylon, and he was raised there. They were not good people, and he prayed to God every day, and then they found out that he was praying to God. They put him in the lion's den. The lions were calmed by God, and he was spared. We know that story. In this part of the story, the king is having a party, and they're drinking, they're celebrating. I'm going to put the whole thing in on the screen somewhere so that you can read it and also get the information if you'd like to read it for yourself all the way through. But to get to the meat of what we're talking about, during this time, he looks over at a whitewashed wall and sees a hand writing on the wall. He can't read it. He asks everybody, can't read it. Daniel is the one who can read it and gives him a message from God. Why are we talking about this? Because somehow, some way, somewhere, somebody took it and misconstrued it, and now everybody is saying, including the incomparable Sam Smith, who wrote a song with the wrong name. We say the writing's on the wall, and I guess you could say it that way, because technically, yeah, but the actual saying would go, I see the hand writing on the wall. And because if the writing's on the wall, then it's already happened, and that doesn't mean anything. So if you say, I see the handwriting on the wall, and I guess it wouldn't make as good of a song. But it doesn't really make as much sense. But, hey, he wrote the song for the James Bond franchise, so who who knows, whatever. I've never seen those movies and don't care to, so it doesn't really matter to me. But it's just funny when you look at, like, that was actually the wrong context, the wrong way to say it. And like I said, lots of people say it. The point of it is that you can miss something and then all of a sudden that's put in front of you. You can't miss it. It's coming to light. And so what I think is interesting is that when somebody says something and then it's like telephone where people pick and they say it a different way and then somebody else says it a different way, and then by the time you're done it doesn't sound anything like what actually, but the actual origin of that even means at all. So it's really interesting because some people would be like, "Ugh, okay, yeah." But like, I start to think how many other sayings are wrong. And now I want to know. When I find out, I want to know because then I want to use them correctly. Just to see if somebody's going to ask me, what? So that I can explain it to them. But this one really stuck out to me because it's like, you're half right, you're partially right, if you could just get it a little more right. And like, I don't want to say like, be the grammar police or try to correct everyone. But I just think it's interesting, and I thought about it, and I somebody had said it in a movie and I was like, that's not how you say it. And I thought, maybe other people don't know about this saying. And then also maybe people might be interested in the actual story. That's a really interesting thing. In this story, the king would not listen to God. He would not pay attention. And so God put it out there because he was in the middle of doing things that were not right. And so he made it so that he couldn't deny that something was wrong. And Daniel was able to tell him, like, this is what God's saying to you. So when we use the expression, I see the handwriting on the wall, that doesn't mean like I get it. It means something's, so I need to look into something. I need to look into that. And so when you use it in the context, that really does make sense. It really does. I don't personally use that saying that much. But now I'm like, there might be times when I can. So I will. And hey, maybe somebody else might write a song about the right way to say it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that it makes for an easy to write song, but I just thought I would come on and I would tell you this and give you the information. I have the Bible verse up again. I'm gonna pop them up in there, go through that whole story so you can maybe pause it and look at it, or maybe look at the verse and read it. It's a really interesting story and one that I remembered, but it didn't really. There's a perfect example now. I saw the handwriting on the wall and wow, interesting. So It's a simple and quite short and sweet and to the point situation here, but sometimes those are nice to have. Sometimes those are just interesting things, and I think this might spark a conversation. Are there any sayings that people say wrong to just drive you crazy? Like I said, mine is for all intensive purposes. No, for all intents and purposes. And also when people say rather instead of whether, like rather or not. No, it's whether or not. Let's make sure that we understand what words go where. Those types of things are the things that bother me, and I'm really interested to know what things bother you. Have you heard somebody say something that was totally wrong? And also, what things do you use that you make sure that you use them in the right context? Are there things that maybe I don't know? I'm really interested to see. Comment down below what's your favorite saying. I don't know that I have a favorite saying. I just don't think I do. But is there something that maybe I don't know that's a good saying? Maybe I can use it. I try to fit things into my vocabulary as much as I can. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this. Give it a like. Make sure you're subscribed because I'm always doing different things. I try to upload every Sunday. And sometimes I don't have any content, so I wait. Sometimes I have the content, but I didn't get it edited, so then I wait. I have a couple things coming up, but let me know what you want to see. Maybe we'll work on some videos you guys want to see. Let me know in the comments what's something you'll want to hear about. Is there maybe another saying that you'd like me to look into? Anything like that. Comment below and tune into my next video and have a great week. Bye guys.